You will discover how the last meeting of the Commanders at the Scouting Combine left the doors wide open for Jeremiah Love, the most controversial prospect of the draft, and why he could be selected at the 7th pick. But it doesn't stop there. Let's dive into the tough decision regarding Frankie Luvu, who needs a spectacular season to justify his contract renewal, and how Daronte Jones is enamored with his athleticism. And there's more. You will understand why the cut of Marshawn Latimore seems inevitable, saving $18.5 million, and how this decision could be the first step in rebuilding our defense. The preseason is in full swing for the Washington Commanders, and, of course, everyone is keeping an eye on the crucial free agent period, but first we have the NFL Scouting Combine. As a fan who follows every move, I know these meetings are crucial for the future of the team. General Manager Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn spoke to the press yesterday, and now it's time to talk to the really important people, the NFL draft prospects. The Commanders will meet with a large group of players from now until April, but not all of them will be in their long-term plans. The first important meeting of the preseason leaves the door open for a popular choice with the 7th overall pick. Peters and his team have a busy week ahead, getting to know the NFL draft prospects on their list before seeing them compete in on-field exercises. All the top options for the Commanders' 7th overall pick will be at the NFL Scouting Combine this week, and they will all be in Peters' sights and in his meeting rooms. The last meeting of the Commanders at the Scouting Combine was with Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, and he will likely be the most controversial player in the 2026 NFL Draft. Love is one of the top candidates for the 7th overall pick, and this is a possibility that we should not dismiss. Should the Commanders consider running back Jeremiah Love with the 7th overall pick is the question everyone is asking. Many argue that the running back position is not an urgent need for the Commanders, but it certainly is, considering that only Bill Krosky-Merritt is under contract for next season. We will learn a lot if the Commanders sign an elite running back in free agency or not, but high-level players are a real need for the team. Love is exactly what we need. Many argue that Love is the best player in the entire NFL draft, and fans should not completely dismiss that idea. Imagine passing up a player of Bijan Robinson's caliber for a defensive player who doesn't pan out. There are no guarantees in the NFL draft, but Love is one of the most promising prospects this year. Teaming Love with Jaden Daniels would instantly create one of the best offensive duos in the NFL. Love is already a big fan of Daniels and recently said he was the coolest person he saw at the Super Bowl, in addition to being a great quarterback. Love will only be 20 years old when drafted and has undoubtedly been the most exciting college football player of the past season. Fans should be open to this possibility, and Love will certainly be an option for the 7th overall pick. The Commanders need to build a solid foundation for the future, and their only pillars are Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and Laramie Tunsil. 2 of them have already passed 30 this season, which is concerning. Peters can bolster the defense with free agents and the rest of the draft, which would allow Love to be selected in the first round without compromising other needs. And now, get ready to understand the tough decision. You will discover why Frankie Luvu needs a spectacular season to justify his contract renewal, and how Daronte Jones is in love with his athleticism and versatility. The linebacker for the Washington Commanders, Frankie Luvu, is preparing for a crucial season for his future with the team. Luvu is entering his final season under contract with the Commanders and needs to have a strong year to keep his career in the spotlight. ESPN journalist John Keane believes that a contract extension could be signed before the start of the season, but it seems unlikely at this moment. A year ago, a contract extension would have been more likely. In his first season with Washington, Luvu recorded 8 sacks, the best performance of his career, and finished with 12 tackles for impressive yard losses, Keane wrote. But Luvu, who has 1 more year left on his contract, did not have the same impact in his second year in Washington. He finished with 3 sacks, being forced to play more as a pass rusher due to numerous injuries at the position. He is most effective as a blitz linebacker, which could fit well in the system of new coordinator Daronte Jones, Keane continued. Frankie Luvu's contract renewal could be on the horizon if he has a good season. For the Commanders, it may make sense to try to keep Luvu under contract beyond 2026, as he is a hard player to replace in free agency. Additionally, Luvu is expected to have a great season due to the arrival of the new defensive coordinator, Daronte Jones, who really likes what he brings to the team. I love Frankie Luvu. I've seen him in videos. He's a guy that, even before I got here, we would watch and put on video in our meeting room, Jones said enthusiastically. I love his athleticism. He's great at running towards the end zone, gaining an edge over running backs. That's always crucial for a linebacker. You're going to hear a lot about that in terms of being able to cover and putting players in advantageous positions. He performs better when he can advance, use his athleticism to win on the sides, use his speed, then timing, distance, and space to face those matchups, Jones continued. And you want to put him in that situation where he can cover the running back. And I think running backs are one of the players on offense that gets the least repetitions and protection. If Luvu manages to bounce back with a great 20-26 season, the Commanders might consider re-signing him beyond next year. However, he will likely also have other teams on his radar, which could complicate negotiations moving forward. As a fan, I hope Luvu has a spectacular season and proves his worth. And now, to close with the plain and simple truth, you will understand why the cut of Marshon Latimore seems inevitable, saving $18.5 million, and how this decision may be the first step in rebuilding our defense. The Washington Commanders are nearing the start of the preseason and will have a tough job ahead to try to return to the level they showed last year. The Commanders will need to do whatever it takes to recover some cap space, which means this is likely the end of the Marshon Latimore era in the nation's capital. Latimore is entering the last year of his contract, but there is no more guaranteed money to be paid. The Commanders can save $18.5 million by cutting him with no additional costs to the cap, wrote John Keim, ESPN commentator. Washington sent 3 draft picks in 2025 to New Orleans in exchange for Latimore. It was the choices in rounds 3, 4, and 6 in exchange for Latimore and a 5th-round pick, in the hope that the 4-time Pro Bowler could contribute with a strong performance. It didn't turn out as expected. Latimore played only 2 regular season games and 3 playoff games in his first season due to a thigh injury that sidelined him. Last season, he had inconsistent performances before tearing his anterior cruciate ligament in Week 9, which was devastating. He turns 30 in May. The Commanders liked the gritty mindset he brought to a position that they felt needed more toughness, Keim continued. He can play under physical pressure, but the combination of age and recovering from yet another injury makes it hard to justify his impact on the salary cap. The cutting of Marshon Latimore seems inevitable, and that is a reality we must face. When General Manager Adam Peters traded for Latimore in November 2024, it was a smart move at the time. The trade brought Latimore to the Commanders in exchange for 3 draft picks in 2025. It was a move the Commanders made to try to improve the team that was heading to the playoffs. Although Latimore spent most of the season injured, he was present during the Commanders' playoff run that took them to the NFC Championship. The Commanders were defeated by the Philadelphia Eagles, but it was a sign that the team was on the right track. Unfortunately, things didn't go that way, as Latimore did not meet the expectations of his contract in 2025. He played in only 9 games and recorded 27 tackles, numbers that do not justify his salary. As a fan, I understand that this is a difficult but necessary decision for the future of the franchise. So, fan, after finding out that the Commanders met with Jeremiah Love and left the door open to select him with the 7th pick, understanding that Frankie Luvu needs a spectacular season to justify his renewal, while Durante Jones is enamored with his athleticism, and knowing that cutting Marshon Latimore would save $18.5 million with no additional costs, which of these decisions leaves you feeling more hopeful? Do you believe we should really draft Jeremiah Love with the 7th pick, even desperately needing defense? Or would it be smarter to invest in an elite defender? And more importantly, do you trust that Adam Peters will make the right choices this offseason with the money saved from Latimore? Or are we doomed to repeat the same mistakes of the past? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about the future of the Washington Commanders.